everyone, it's Fleck of Nerds here at the Barrie Game Exchange. It's the third year that the Barrie Game Exchange has been running. Lots of new vendors and lots of the same vendors. Great prices on games. The major difference today is Fleck of Nerds and Party Play Gaming are vendors as well. Check it out, it's STC Podcast at our booth. It's so awesome. Hey, I'm here with Josh Creepley. We're at the Barrie Game Exchange. How's it been going for you?
It's been good. Spent too much money, as usual.
You didn't even think you were coming, and then you were like, I'm not going to buy much, and then you come here and you spend a lot of money because the deals are insane, right?
They're pretty good. Yeah, I didn't know I was coming until this morning, so I just hopped in the car and came down, and yeah, too many games, so little money.
What did you end up getting? What's the thing that you came out here to find, and you're like, I gotta drop the money on that?
I would say probably I'm doing a complete Game Gear collection, so I spent the most money on overpriced Game Gear games. So
not a lot of people carry the Game Gear games.
Well, you should tell it to the vendors because they seem to think it's really expensive. So.
Now I heard that you have a child on the way, is that right?
Yes I do. I have a little baby coming in end of January, so things are about to get exciting.
Now, have you already come up with some sort of plan on how you're going to introduce video games in that child's because I've heard that some people do you got to learn by playing Atari first and then Nintendo.
I mean, ideally, yes. I'd love to start with the NES and kind of work their way up because NES is a bit easy to work with. That being said, whatever I hooked up and if they show any interest in it, here's the controller, go at it, and then we'll work from there.
What if they end up liking Game Boy more than Game Gear?
I think I'll be okay with it.
You should definitely check out Creeplead's channel. The link will be in the description of this video. Thanks a lot, man.
Thank you.
All right, Fraser, this is the first time you worked the table here.
I helped you with the
swap.
Yeah, it was very fun.
How'd it go?
I did very good. I don't know about you. And Ashley sold a lot of cookies. More cookies than I gave her said she would. So I apologize. Her cookies sold like hotcakes. And you did really well too.
I think the cookies sold better than hotcakes would at this event.
Yeah, I don't think pancakes. Yeah, pancakes would have been like, oh, they're all weird and there's no syrup or butter. The soggy pancakes would be terrible. But yeah, you did pretty good. You sold quite a bit of stuff. Mm-hmm. I was very lucky. I didn't bring much. Came here more to help you.
It was crazy you bought that little Samson though. I know it had a damaged label, but
yeah, but, when you got the money to spend, you might as well just spend it, right?
It's a little bit sparse in here now. I don't know. The Barrie Game Exchange is winding down. I'm not sure if you can tell. Yeah, we had a really good time. I actually didn't even get a chance to walk around. I felt like I wanted to stay at the table because I'm like super anal about stuff and I enjoy, marking things off the list and all that stuff. So I stayed at the table and it was like actually really fun. A lot of people came by the tables. We met tons of really cool, nice people. Lots of people just looking for stuff to fill out their collections or even just find games that they've always been curious about and want to play. So yeah, we even convinced someone to play Mystic Defenders because we loved that game when we played it for the channel, and we were like, it's a super fun game, you should totally try it, and he went for it, which was awesome. And we started giving out a few deals at the end of the day. But it was a ton of fun. Ashley from Party Play Gaming sold a ton of delicious cookies. Thank you so much to the Barrie Game Exchange, to Chris and Nintendo Hodge for putting on such a great show. And we can't wait for the next one. Really looking forward. Maybe we'll even be vendors again because this was a very good experience. And we have a lot of stuff still to sell. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye. Is that good enough? Do you want me to do something else?
So that was it. That was our Barrie Game Exchange from August 2016. It was a really fun event. Being a dealer was definitely the way to go, especially with the amount of games that we had. And, well, I'm sure you got most of this from what Kathryn said. We picked up some games while we were there as well. Not as many games as normal, because we were stuck behind the booth a lot of the time, but we did get some good games, and I'm going to show them to you right now. So first off is the Ultimate Best Deal Challenge, where you could buy something at the Barrie Game Exchange that was within your $25 budget, and then you could trade that thing up and up and up and up to see how far you could get, and that would all be included in your deal. I did not do that, so I just picked up 2 games that came to a total of $25. This game is a game that I'm very interested in playing, and he actually saw me pick it up. I don't think he was that impressed, so I don't think I'm going to win this challenge. But that game is the Sky Crawlers Innocent Aces, and it's a flight simulator, but it's kind of like an anime flight simulator, which I'm curious about because the last flight simulator I played was Pilot Wings, and I feel like technology has improved greatly since then. So I think that I want to see what flight simulators are like now. The second game was a roll of the dice. I felt like I didn't have a lot of time to scope the floor and make deals, so my best shot at winning the Ultimate Best Deal Challenge this time was to roll the dice and take a chance. So I picked up this game, I didn't know what it was, and it had $5 on it. I asked the guy who was selling the game what game it was, and he was like, to be honest, I don't know what game that is. I tried to find it with Google image search and stuff, and I still have no idea what game it is, but it's $5. So I bought it. The label is damaged, so you can't read what game it is, and found out it was X Mutants. So it was a bit of a deal, not a crazy insane deal. I wasn't expecting this to be like a $100 game, but still pretty good for $5. Looking forward to trying it out. So that's it. That's for my Ultimate Best Deal Challenge, but I did pick up more games. I'll show those to you right now. So from Nintendo Hodge, he was trying to get rid of this 10-yard fight. When I heard the name 10-yard fight, I thought it was Urban Brawler, or whatever that game is, Urban Champion. So I bought it, and then I realized it's a football game. So there we are. I made a trade with Chris Hodgson, Nintendo Hodge. His link will be in the description. He was also the one that ran the event today, if we haven't mentioned that yet. And he did a heck of a job. Good job, Chris. But yeah, so I made a trade with him, and I got Kid Icarus. I made a trade with somebody at the Barrie Game Exchange. One of the perks of having a table is that people will approach you with a stack of games and say, how much credit at your table can I get for these games? One guy did that, and he gave us a few games for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the arcade game on NES, and I ended up putting a couple of those games back on the table for sale. They were either doubles or games I didn't want to play, but the one game I kept from that was Battle Chess. Battle Chess, the game where you play chess, and then when you have 2 chess pieces that fight, they actually cut to a fight scene with those 2 chess pieces fighting. Also made a trade with Creepleet, Josh from Creepleet, who you've seen in this video. We had prearranged a trade. He saw some stuff that he wanted from my table, and he had this from the last Game Swap F-Zero GX. I've listened to the soundtrack of this game, and it's amazing, and the game looks great. I've never played it, and I'm looking forward to trying it out. Another trade I made was with Gamer Alley VT. His link will also be in the description of this video. We were lucky enough to be sitting right behind Gamer Alley VT and CJR, so they were fun to talk to throughout the event. But he's looking for different GameCube games, and I had a loose disc Smash Brothers Melee, and I actually really wanted to try this Mortal Kombat XL on the PS4, so we just didn't even swap. I have Mortal Kombat for the PS4, but it's not XL, and I finished the campaign story mode in that game, and I really wanted to play as Leatherface. And on top of that, you can play as like Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th, you can play as that alien from Aliens, and so many more. Goro for $10. I ended up getting this game. I can't pronounce it. One Chanbara. It is a game that reminds me a lot of Lollipop Chainsaw, which I finished and enjoyed. This game is it's Bikini Zombie Slayers. So you just run around slaying zombies, like beat 'em up against zombies. And the last trade I made of the day was for this Call of Cthulhu. Josh creepily kind of talked me into this one because I had some credit at a table, and I was able to grab this. Probably the last Xbox game I actually wanted to play, so I think my Xbox collection is probably done. But the thing that really struck me about this game was I was watching a video of the top 10 horror video games of all time, and this game actually is a madness meter. So as you're progressing and you're losing control of your mind, as you know, it is the Call of Cthulhu, things start happening on your screen. You start having hallucinations. The camera starts to shake a little bit. Maybe some cracks on the screen. I don't know what I'm in store for, but it sounded kind of cool. Sounded like something I'm interested in, so I'm gonna check it out. The next two games were definitely the highlights for me. When you look at lists of the top 10 TurboGrafx games of all time, this one is always on the list, every time. Some people say it's the best shmup on the TurboGrafx, a system that is popular for their shmups, and that game is Blazing Lasers. This is one of those genres that I never knew I loved until we started Flock of Nerds, and both Kathryn and I really enjoy playing shmups together, so we have Blazing Lasers, we're gonna give it a try, and you can guarantee you'll see this on the channel at some point. And the last item I picked up at the Barrie Game Exchange is a boxed NES game. Normally I don't collect boxed or game manuals or things like that, but it just so happens that a week earlier I managed to get my favorite video game of all time complete in box, which is an NES game. So I was like, why not go for my top 3? And the deal was incredibly reasonable. It was really early on at the Barrie Game Exchange. I ended up getting a boxed Maniac Mansion. The deal was super reasonable, where it was just like, okay, I'm not even gonna barter. Boom, take the price you're asking for. I mean, this isn't the actual price that I paid, but it is really close. So for a boxed Maniac Mansion, this game is hilarious. It still holds up today, I'm sure, because all of the joys from this game come from the story and the humor. And you know, I never played Day of the Tentacle, a lot of people did, but this was the game, one of those games I grew up with, and it was the very first point and click I played, the very first probably non-platforming or beat 'em up game that I ever played, and it's phenomenal. If you've never played it, give it a shot, because the humor is just, you know, top tier. And that's it! That was our Barrie Game Exchange, and it was a really great time. The most fun we've ever had at one of these events. Got to meet a lot of really cool people. Special thanks to Bill from SCC Podcast, who had us over for a barbecue afterwards. Big thanks to Canadian Retro, Josh from Creep Lead, just everybody at the event, especially Chris Hodgson, Nintendo Hodge, who put on the event. did a absolutely killer job. And Fraser and Ashley from Party Play Gaming for coming up with us, you know, sharing a table with us. Ashley for providing those amazing cookies. So thanks for a great weekend, and thank you for watching. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
I see he's dancing. He's dancing. Miles, you're missing it. Go eat sleep at night.
Those guys!
Chris is overexcited. He had too many cookies.